Man City 3, Leicester 1, but boy did we make that nervy for ourselves towards the end there. That blunder, well not blundered from Calvin Phillips, but Ederson with the save. Calvin Phillips knocked it to Iheanacho for them to score 1 with like 15 minutes left. The couple of penalty shots, Sergio Gomez with the handball, it was by his side though, it was no penalty. And then the one on Maddison after, I think he nutmegged Laporte and went down. Iheanacho hit the post, ballooned a right footed shot over the bar after he roasted Diaz. Yeah, we're nervy towards the end there. It's definitely made me feel different about the Bayern Munich game. 3-0, like, if they score one at any time, it's a really nervy game. City have to go out like it's 0-0 really, or it's 1-0, and play on the front foot, no sitting back the whole time. We have to play a strong game versus Bayern. I thought we could play a strong game versus Leicester and then just sit back versus Bayern, but hell no! Not after that game just there. It's mad how a 3-goal lead can just, as soon as one goal is scored, it just makes you feel like that. But yeah, it was nervy towards the end there. But yeah, we won anyway, that's all that matters. 3 goals, 3 points, 2+ goal difference, and most importantly, well, not most importantly, we got the 3 points. 3 points behind Arsenal now, level games, but they play tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. Who they play? West Ham. West Ham at home. Can you do something for me? No, yeah, West Ham are at home to Arsenal. But yeah, we've done our job. We've got the points on the board now. It's just 3 points in it. But yeah, let's get into the game. If you're new around here, don't forget to like and subscribe. But yeah, let's get into the review. So before the game, just like the Southampton game, City fans were more nervous for these games than the Bayern Munich game, and for good reason. The first couple of minutes, Leicester were sitting back deep. Everyone was just like, yeah, this is why we're more afraid of these sort of games, because these relegation sides will just sit back, camp back. But it's a good thing we got the early goal through John Stones. Oh, that boy is having himself a season now. He's come back. His turnaround has been one for the ages. He went from error-prone, injury-prone centre-back into one of the finest centre-backs in the world. He can do everything. He can play right-back, he can play centre-back, he can play centre-mid, he can play as a DM. You do see him in the spaces that the 8s take up sometimes as well. You've seen him roaming down on the right wing, roaming from right-back. He can do it all, man. And a weak-footed half volley outside the box to put us 1-0 ahead. Yeah, that guy's having a season. Team of the season. He's definitely getting in the team of the season for sure now. I don't know who you'd put in alongside him. I don't even know what position you put him in. Do you put him right back? Has there been any good right backs this season, really? Off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Trent's had a stinker. Reece James isn't doing well. He's had injuries as well. Kyle Walker, he's been in and out of the team now, so maybe White, I forget his first name, Ben White, maybe Ben White at Arsenal, but John Stones, I think he could get in the right back spot just to give more City players like Ruben Diaz a chance to get in the actual team of the year. Ruben Diaz probably not, because he's been injured a bit. He'd probably be Saliba or someone like that. But yeah, John Stones having himself a season. Great goal. I think it was within like 10 minutes or something to get us the goal, to get us 1-0 up, and that really changed the game. As I said, Leicester were camping back. They played 3-5-1, kind of similar to how I said a 4-5-4-5, a 5-4-1. They didn't play Ricardo Pereira, but they played the 5 at the back. Johnny Evans, I think, got injured or something beforehand, but yeah, 5-4-1 they played. No, they played 3-5-1. Defensive mindset, like I predicted in the preview. But yeah, that goal really helped flip the script, and then Leicester kind of had to come out and press a lot, which they did. Well, they just left so many spaces. It was so easy for Ederson to find Rodri in the middle of the park, find Laporte or Walker out in those like wide areas. Ederson even in the second half, Ederson even found Diaz in one of those wide areas, and Diaz made like a drive upfield and into the attack. It was like, well, that's something Laporte or John Stones or Walker would do. Is like, what are you doing there, Diaz? But yeah, Leicester just gave us way too much space, to be honest. So yeah, that first goal really helped us out. Second goal, the penalty, it just was a penalty. I think we had a penalty shot with Grealish beforehand. But this one was definitely one. Ndidi's arm was like away from his body, as opposed to Sergio Gomez, whose hand was basically by his side, and then he was kind of bringing it behind him anyway. So yeah, it was definite penalty. Erling Haaland, I don't know if it was kind of less of a side foot, maybe more towards the heel, but scuffed it in off the post. Well, not maybe scuffed it in, but off the post. That's a naughty penalty, man, if it's in off the post. I thought once I seen the keeper dive in the right way, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. But yeah, in off the post, Erling Haaland with his first, and that was to break the most goals scored by a player in their debut season, which beat, like, I think it was Kevin Phillips on his debut season, and he got 30, Erling Haaland 31 now, and 46 goals in all competitions. So I think he's 2 ahead of the record now. He's got the record anyway. I don't know who he has to chase now. I think it's like Dixie Dean on 63 or something like that. And with 15 or 16 games remaining, and he's on 47, sorry. So he'd be 47 because he got 2 today, so... Yeah, never know. 47 what? You need 15, 16 goals in 15, 16 games. I mean, it's not unthinkable now. His record before the World Cup was way better than after the World Cup, but he's still averaging maybe a goal or so a game after the World Cup now. And if he actually stays on the pitch longer than 60 minutes, or 45 minutes in today's case, he should be getting it. The only reason Haaland hasn't scored is absolutely... Like, he has obliterated the record, but... He gets taken off in 60, 70 minutes so many times to give Alvarez minutes. Yeah, that makes sense. But his goals to minutes ratio is going to be absolutely insane. But yeah, the penalty was his first. And I think for the penalty, he did the old heart celebration, which is whose celebration? You guessed it, or maybe you didn't, but it's Jude Bellingham's celebration as well. Is that something? Does that mean Jude's coming to City? Do you remember last year when we were madly linked with Haaland? KDB, I think it was against Wolves when he scored 4. He didn't kneel, he didn't sit down and do it, but he done it like that. I think it was for his hat trick or something, or it could have been 3-0. But that's what he said was why KDB did the celebration. But he did the Erling Haaland celebration when he scored either his hat trick or went 3-0 up. Well, he scored all 4 in that game, I think. So it was for his hat trick. So is that something similar? Is Erling Haaland giving us a wee hint there, especially after all the news that has happened this week? Jude Bellingham, Liverpool pulling out of the race, Jude Bellingham saying he's not going to a money club. But then the Mirror came out last night and saying that, or earlier today, saying that Man City are in pole position to get Jude Bellingham for 130 million. Can we read into this? Blue Moon Forum giving out stuff about Jude Bellingham has already trademarked Jude Bellingham number 22. So he's trademarked that in England, but not in Spain or not in Germany. So who knows? 130 million though. Is it worth it? Is it not? That's probably for another video after the season when there's not so many games. But yeah, I'll probably talk about the summer transfer window, who I want and whatnot. But yeah, that's for a different time. Back to the City-Leicester game. Remember if any of you watched the prediction, I predicted 3-0. I didn't predict 3-0 in like 35 minutes now, but we got to that very early with Haaland's second of the game. Not a tap-in this time. He's got some good finishes the last couple of weeks now. He got the bicycle kick. He's got this goal now. Just a simple. It was a bit like Crystal Palace. Gundogan just kind of straight down the middle for Erling Haaland. Oh, that one was way better because he just brushed aside 2 defenders easily. Just bounced off them. But yeah, KDB was simple. Well, not simple. He did really well to get the touch past Indeed. He drove past him. I think he played it with his left foot. Haaland just one touch with his right and scooped it past the keeper with his left. Great finish. It's in when players kind of they rarely, if they're going to play it along the ground, they usually aim for between the keeper's legs. But if they're aiming anywhere else, it's usually like in between. A keeper will always like dive with their arms stretched out wide and their legs stretched out wide. But it's in this gap here is where a lot of finishes happen. So a lovely finish that way. And Haaland for his second of the game, great for my fantasy team. I think I've always captained him. How I did it because of his injury. I may have captained someone else. I didn't check it before this round of games. But I'm hoping I've kept him. KDB is in it too. He's got an assist, 15 for the season now. He's done that 4 times. No other player has done it more than twice. And KDB had a year out injured in 18-19, so yeah. And then last year he took on the goal scoring, like the mantle of goal scoring in our team rather than assisting. So when he's the creator, he usually gets 15 assists. And yesterday the Premier League made a video about his 100 Premier League assists, but they included that assist that they never counted against Arsenal in 1920. So does he have the outright record now? Who knows? But it's 6 assists for him now to get the outright record. I think it's like 6 in 8 games. That's kind of doable. That's just to equal the record. It'd have to be 7 in 9 games to get it himself. But if he has 2 seasons with the record, that's pretty good. But yeah, back to the Leicester City and Man City game. That's 3-0. Also, KDB, Erling Haaland combined 8 times in the Prem this season. That's one behind the record. I think it's like Drogba, Lampard, and then Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. Heung-min Son and Harry Kane is like the most in Premier League history. Just they broke it last season above Drogba and Lampard. But KDB to Erling Haaland, that's a cheat code in of itself. I remember KDB a couple of seasons ago, he was like, who would your perfect strike partner be? Just someone you'd know would always be able to finish it. And his answer was Cristiano Ronaldo, which made absolute sense. Big, tall striker who can finish well. But he's got that now, and possibly even more. Ronaldo was older back then, so Erling Haaland now, he's got pace, power, athleticism, drive. All he cares about is scoring. He could go the whole game without a touch, but as long as he scores, that man is happy. Yeah, who else had decent games today? Ederson made some great saves today. There was a save from James Maddison after they went 3-1 up. James Maddison, he blocked it with his left foot. Did he have another save against Iheanacho? I'm not too sure. He made a good save on the corner, but he just saved it into Calvin Phillips, which was the problem. But Ederson's one-on-one saving has improved loads recently, so have to give him praise for that. We'll praise him in the Bayern Munich game. I'm going to praise him again because when he makes mistakes, I'll criticise him. So gotta give him praise when it's due. So if he starts saving on the regular now, it ain't looking good for the rest of you. So yeah, Walker and Laporte coming back in, decent games. Good to see Laporte back in. He'll play against Sheffield United as well. Don't know if he'll play at Bayern Munich. I think we'll go strong against Bayern, especially after seeing how worried we were after Leicester scored there. But yeah, he'll play against. I don't know if he'll play against Sheffield United for sure. Don't know about Walker. If we beat Bayern, I'd like Walker to come back in for Real Madrid because of Vinicius Junior. But yeah, that's the back four. Ruben Diaz, solid, but he got turned by Iheanacho, who blazed a right-footed shot over. He also gave it away from Maddison, who should have scored that chance, but thanks to Ederson, he didn't. But yeah, decent from the back four. Into midfield, Rodri with a great game, taking off early to give Calvin Phillips minutes as well. That's good. KDB off at half-time. Another assist as well today. That's good. Bernardo Silva tireless as ever today. Grealish was good. Yeah, he loves that volley from outside the box from corners. Erling Haaland with 2, like we said. Great. Mahrez, not the worst game, not the best game. No real, I don't think he had many highlights or whatnot. Not a standout performance from him. It doesn't get him back in the team for Bayern anyway. But he'd play against Sheffield United. But yeah, that's the team. Ederson improving. Haaland with 2. KDB another assist to notch on. John Stones with the goal. Yeah, great game all round. So yeah, that's the team review. Leicester City 1, Manchester City 3. That's 10 wins in a row now, 15 unbeaten in all comps. We're cooking, I tell you that. Next Premier League game is a huge one at Arsenal home. That could be a title decider, yeah, but next up is Bayern Munich on Wednesday, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's Leicester versus Man City review. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What you make of Laporte's comeback as well as Walker's? What do you make of Ederson's one-on-one saving improving? Yeah, let me know. Hit the like button, it helps other City fans find the video and whatnot. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you next time. Peace.